Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about I Love Lucy. More specifically about what happened behind the scenes of episode 47 of I Love Lucy. The episode is entitled Lucy's Showbiz Swan Song. Now the reason I had that warning in the beginning is because there is some profanity that I pretty much have to talk about this story. So if that's something you don't want to really listen to or hear, feel free to visit my other 1300 videos. There's so much more content, but whenever there's something like this, I always put a little advisory in the beginning. Now in this episode, the Showbiz Swan Song, Lucy's actually pregnant in real life and in the story. Now Lucy and Ethel show up to an audition for Ricky's new Gay 90s review at the Tropicana. Now, they of course failed to get the job, but when Ricky asked Fred and Ethel to join him in the barbershop quartet, Lucy gets a little bit jealous and she secretly switches herself with the man who Ricky hired to be in the seat, that is George Watson, and they sing Sweet Adeline, and it's hilarious. They have the shaving cream all over the place. It's a great episode. Now what happened behind the scenes happened of course between Vivian Vance, who played Ethel Mertz, and Lucille Ball, who played Lucy Ricardo. Now in real life they were very good friends. In fact, they did have a falling out kind of toward the end of Vivian's life, but then they came back together. They reunited just before Vivian passed away. But then going back to this moment between scenes during the filming of this episode, they actually had a little bit of a run-in between Vivian Vance and Bill Frawley. Now I made a whole few set of videos just on the tumultuous relationship that they had in real life. They did not like each other. Again, take a look at those videos for more details, but I will talk about their run-in as well. Now keep in mind that this account is from Vivian Vance herself. She mentions that Lucille Ball had her own special dressing room right near the stage because of her condition. The condition she is mentioning is of course her pregnancy. Now Vivian had to run to her dressing room to make several quick changes for this episode. Of course, some including when they were at the club doing the dance, and many other different scenes that they had to do. And she noted that at one point she almost didn't make it in time for the filming. Lucille Ball ran into her and growled, these are the words that she uses, and said, "You're late." Now Vivian turned to her and said, quote, "I'd tell you to go yourself, but I see that Desi has already handled that." Wow, now Vivian was a firecracker, but imagine speaking like this to your boss. But speaking like this to your boss in the 1950s, behind the scenes of filming the most popular television show of all time. I want to know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this moment? And was Vivian a bit uncalled for, or was Lucille over the edge in her telling Vivian that she was really late? Now in regards to Bill Frawley, he had made it known that he wanted to sing the repeats for the number in Sweet Adeline, but Vivian disagreed with this. She actually pulled him aside and, according to her, set him straight. She told him that Lucille was the star and it would be funnier if she did the repeats. Vivian said that Frawley got loud with her, and so she told him to shut up and that they had to do this thing the way it was rehearsed. Frawley apparently calmed down, but growled at her and said, "You know what she's going to sound like, don't you? Like putting a shovel full of on baked Alaska." Now what Vivian didn't understand about this was that yes, Frawley was correct. That was the entire point. That was in fact what she was supposed to sound like. But according to her, his ego couldn't see it that way. It was supposed to be a funny scene, and again, that was her understanding. I want to know your thoughts here, guys and gals. Is Vivian overstepping her bounds? Again, she said a little crack shot at Lucille, and then later she was trying to be the one who set Frawley straight. There was a lot of tension here and there, not anything that was super drastic, but yes, there was a big rift between Vivian and Bill, and there was little things going on here and there even with Desi, which maybe I'll cover in future videos. I'd always love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. I love reading them as well. We'll see you next time, guys and gals. Most importantly, always stay positive, always better yourself, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you to my Diamond tier patrons, Andrew B, Sydney R, Ricky, and David D. I appreciate everyone who supports me on Patreon. If you want to get exclusive content like knowing what videos are coming out the day before, as well as many other things like podcasts. Feel free to subscribe to Patreon. Link is in the description. Thanks so much.